Hey everybody, welcome back. What's going on with y'all? I hope it's pretty good. There is a raging hurricane outside, which is to say that it is bright and sunny and a little breezy. So pray for me and everybody else who may be affected by this beautiful weather. It is, what is today? Monday? It's Monday, whenever the hurricane's supposed to come. I am filming some videos because I don't know if I'm going to lose my power, because while it's beautiful outside now, it may not be later. I'm going to make some pumpkins, leopard print pumpkins, the same kind the Pilgrims had. You know, because nothing says fall like leopard print. I don't know where that came from. Leopard print is suddenly everywhere. I'm like, what is this, 2003? I don't know. But I want to jump on a bandwagon. So these are some velvet pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I took the stems out already because they're outside drying because I spray painted them. So I did this in another video, but just as a refresher, these are kind of hard. I mean, for Dollar Tree, these are kind of hard to open up. And let me tell you, they are like in here good. Look at this one. This one's like, this one's on here so tight. So you just gotta kind of get in there, get yourself an edge, and then start unpacking, pretty much. And there's your pumpkin. Wow, this one was like super smashed in there. I mean, they used a super big piece of velvet too. If you want to save this for something, you can. You could actually cut this into a circle, sew it up, and use it to make a fabric pumpkin, like we did before. I'm not going to keep these though because they are super thin and cheap and weird. So I got two. This one might be a little more difficult, but it also might not be as smashed as that one. So I got this gift tissue from a gift tissue. It's tissue paper. Hobby Lobby. It's like $1.99. You can use anything you want for this, any kind of tissue paper. I started doing this in the 90s, so there was a show called Elaine's Creative Living. They started doing this with paper. Oh, this is really hard. I don't know if this is gonna work. With paper napkins, like decorative napkins. They'll peel it all apart and get to the one ply. And when they found something they ran with it. They made like a special adhesive for paper napkin applique. I, of course, was like, I love that. That's the best thing I've ever seen. And I proceeded to paper napkin applique everything in the house. And my mom was like, okay, that's enough. You need to calm down. So this is a little bit stiffer than I thought it would be. Gosh darn Hobby Lobby and their premium quality products. Brush this down to a more manageable piece. And they had those napkins, but it was like, I don't know how many, it was like $5 for like 100 of them, or way more leopard print napkins than anybody would ever need in their entire life. So these are both kind of busted up, but we're covering them, so. I mean, this is like, I could fit my thumb in here. That's a big hole. You can also use those orange pumpkins they sell at, you can use anything. I mean, you could put this on anything. The orange pumpkins, I would just get to a somewhat of a neutral base coat first. These are white, so I don't have to do that, but like I would definitely have to paint those orange ones because last year they were fluorescent. I haven't seen them this year what they look like, but based on last year's anything, you know. I got some Mod Podge. I'm just gonna tear the straight edges off of this because we want them to lay flat so they'll be kind of feathered. And all of them. And I'm gonna just rip these down into smaller pieces. Yeah, so Elaine's Creative Living was on in the 90s. I know I've talked about it before because it had like a major impact on my life. In that, you know, I decoupaged everything. They had this challenge where you could send in some trash and one of the girls on there would like turn it into something, and she made these wine glasses, you know, those plastic wine glasses. She made Christmas ornaments out of them. I thought they were the most, I think she used a paper napkin applique. I thought they were the most amazing things I've ever seen. Me and my mom get me a bunch of them and tried to put them on the tree, and then she was like, those would look great on the back of the tree because they were terrible. This is gonna be, well, this is kind of what, don't they have those paper mache kind of textured pumpkins at Hobby Lobby this year? I wonder where that hair came from, business, because I don't have hair. Yeah, it came on, what is it, CMT, the country music television station, whatever. Let me tell you, the first day we had out of school for summer, I was parked in front of that TV every day at 11. I think it was at like 11 and 11:30. Such a good show. I wish they still had shows like that, but I guess that's why I have a platform here on YouTube, because they don't have shows like that anymore. And it's the same Aline who made the tacky glue that's been around for 1,000 years. If you don't watch my book videos, which I know a lot of people don't, we did a video the other day where it was published in 1974, and the woman in there is using that same bottle of tacky glue. I mean, the label looks a little different, but it's still the gold bottle. It still says like the tacky glue on it. I wonder what happened to them. Like, I think Plaid like owns this now. Is it Plaid? I love to create. Yeah, I'm sure they still, because they used to have, let me tell y'all, if y'all were crafting in like the 90s, Aline's had a product for everything. There was paper napkin applique glue. There was, what is this one? Tack it over and over. It's a repositionable adhesive, so you can make like glue dots. I use that on my Cricut mats because I'm not spending $14 for a piece of plastic. They had like a decoupage glue. They had a glue called Porcelainize It, which, I mean, that, if that ain't a name, where you would take silk flowers, dip them in this glue, and they would dry with like a porcelain finish. I am 90% sure every one of those products was just tacky glue, watered down in various ways. But like, it was cool to go to the craft store and see, you know, the 100 different products they had. Yeah, they're just like, oh, just use tacky glue. Alright, so now I'm going to run into the problem again of me trying to what did I use before, guys? I hope it wasn't my chopstick, because that is like in glue. Oh, you know, this would have been a perfect thing to use. I got some gloves. I told my mom, I was like, listen, I am like getting paint everywhere. It's always on my hands. It stays on like forever after I wash it. I was like, I need some gloves. They don't sell them anywhere. Well, they sell them. It's just they're always out. So my mom was like, I got you. She like took them from the back at Walmart. She gave me like 15 pair. I was like, I literally needed one pair because I'm not going to throw them away once I use them. Like, I'm just going to keep using them. This would be perfect for that. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by this leopard print trend that's going around. Except, I think people are like, oh, it's like a neutral. So I saw somebody I follow on Instagram. They posted a wreath the other day. It was a Christmas wreath. It was very like traditional Christmas. They had like a reindeer in it, like not my style. But I was like, okay, that's cute. And then it had a bunch of leopard print ribbon in it. And I was like, what does that serve? Like, I don't understand. Is it there just to be there? Because I don't like stuff like that. when you're like, oh, well, let me just stick leopard print ribbon in this. It was like out of place. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, do whatever you want. I don't care what you put in your wreaths. Look at the crap I put in mine. But, of course, that one little spot I was trying to cover, I ended up missing it. Yeah, me and my mom went to Hobby Lobby on Saturday. Filmed a little shop with me. Made everybody nauseous. I apologize. I don't really do the shop with me videos. Like, I like watching them. Some of them. Some of the people, I'm just like, oh my god, will you move on? Yeah, no, you know why I don't actually film stuff why this camera has been on the same tripod without moving since I got it. So I guess I'm gonna have to move it soon for my Christmas tree video, which I don't want to do. You guys, this year has just been so rough. I don't want to do Christmas. Like, I don't feel like cleaning out a space to put my tree up. I don't feel like decorating it. I don't feel like finishing making the ornaments I need to make. And I know I will. Because if not, I'm going to be like, I regret this so much. And then I'm going to end up putting the tree up in like December, you know, December like 24th. It was just like, ugh. And I think right now too, it's like the weather, like it's so hot. I don't want to do anything, much less work my you-know-what off for 3 days putting up a Christmas tree. Oh, I'm using the matte Mod Podge too. You can use glossy, you can use super glossy. I was going to use super glossy because I thought it might give them a more, like a more ceramic look or more like porcelain look, but this paper is definitely too thick for that. Another thing you can, let me rip some more of this up real quick. Another thing you can do if you're using something like this is definitely not tissue paper, which I guess is why it's called gift tissue. What sense does that make? If you have a thicker paper, you can roll it up to break that surface tension and just smooth it out before you put it on, and it should go on a little bit easier. It'll be a little bit more malleable. Can you go in there? There we go. Yeah, I think the leopard print is gonna, I think the leopard print is the new buffalo check. When leopard print was really big the first time, I was in like high school, and I told my mom, I was like, I want a leopard print bedspread. And she was like, no. And I was like, why not? She's like, that's stupid, that's tacky. Only coochies wear leopard print. I was like, well, I don't want to wear leopard print, I just want it like in my room. And went to school one day and I left. I'm gonna say it's because I was sick, but I probably just didn't want to be there. So like I was like, I need to leave, and I like got in my car and left. When I got back to my house, I was going up to my room, and my mom was leaving my room. And she's like, what are you doing home from school? And I was like, I don't want to be at school. And she's like, well, you need to be at school. And I was like, well, I don't want to. And she's like, okay, what do you want for lunch? And I was like, what are you doing in my room? And she's like, nothing. And I went now, and she had changed my bed into a leopard print comforter, and I was like, oh, Mom. And she's like, now go back to school. And I was like, no, I don't want to. That happened a lot with me. Stay in school, kids. hard time with school because I was so freaking bored all the time. It's like, wait, you want me to just sit here and listen to somebody and not do anything else? Like, that's what I'm supposed to do? That's not me. I was like, can we do a project? We had, oh my god, I was thinking about this story the other day and I was like, I can't tell that story on YouTube, but super secret long version time, because obviously this is taking me much longer than I thought it would. When I was in high school, I was part of the literary magazine because I wrote a lot in high school. That was like what I was going to do. What everybody expected me to do was like go to college, major in English, write some books. I wrote a lot. And we had this real cool teacher. Her name was Miss Elliott. Shout out to Miss Elliott. You know, she was like young. She's like a hippie. Not really hippie, but I mean, she was just like, she wasn't the 40-year-old teachers we had. She had to be like in her, you know, maybe early 30s at the time. So I'm using a bigger piece right here just because I can. So we were part of the literary magazine, and she decided, she's like, let's host a poetry slam. And I was like, oh, and like I was part of it, but it was like a very alternative group of people in there. That's saying it politely. It was an alternative group of people because they were like, you know, oh, we're arty, and I was like, me too, but all my friends are cheerleaders, so isn't high school weird when you think about stuff like that? Anyway, she like decides we're gonna host this poetry slam, but we're gonna do it at lunch. We're gonna invite the whole school, and I'm like, ew, this is like my secret shame. Like, I don't know about all that. So we set it up, and she invites anybody who wants to come. You don't have to be a part of the literary magazine. If you just want to write a poem, you know, come and read it. If you want to read a poem that somebody else wrote. So I'm like, oh god. So I go because I'm like, I need to like be here for this. Pretty much nobody else in the school goes, which is why this story becomes so unbelievable to anybody I tell it to, because nobody was there except for the people who were like in the literary magazine and this one girl who came to read a poem she wrote. So the first girl gets up and she like dramatically reads something from Shakespeare. Like she's got it in her hand, but oh surprise, she's memorized it. And I was like, you can't be that dramatic. Like, first of all, calm down. Secondly, calm down. So she reads her poem. I'm like, okay. So then this girl who I know her from, I don't know how I knew her. I mean, we went to high school together, but like she was friends with one of my friends, but like not really. She gets up and she is not the person that I think. I'm like, she writes poetry? Really? Well, she's gonna read, but she reads, she knows how to read, first of all. So she gets up and she starts reading this poem, which is unconventional in its rhyme scheme. Doesn't really have one. That's fine. I'm for it. Whatever you want to do. But the subject matter of the poem is extremely disturbing. I don't care about saying what it was about because I've told this story 1,000 times and everybody's like, you're such a liar. And I was like, hand to God, I swear to you, this is what this was about. She gets up, starts reading this poem about her dad. And I'm like, oh God, is it a poem about how great of a dad she has? Because I have a crappy dad and I don't want to hear it. Reading this poem about her dad. And I don't know if it was around Easter when we were doing this or the poem was just about Easter. Wait, are there spots down here? Oh, there's spots where it's been rubbing against the bottom. Look how it just segued right back into my project here. But yeah, that was like the craziest thing that ever happened. with the Literary magazine at least. I mean, other crazy stuff happened. Does anybody hate the way Mod Podge feels when it's like drying on their fingers? Because I sure do. Alright, now that I've told that horrific story, and you're like, why did I watch the long version of this? I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I will come back and we will put this. See, I just put a piece over where that hole was, like just a big piece completely over this. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit and then kind of come through and, well, no, it's pretty smooth. I'm gonna have to call Michelle and tell her that I told y'all that story, and she's gonna be like, do not put that on the internet. Let's see, this is mostly dry. I mean, it's dry enough for me to finish up this video at least. Looks pretty good. I don't like how glossy it is, but this was matte, wasn't it? Yeah, well, glad I didn't use the super gloss. I have a little metallic marker here from Dollar Tree. Oh! Let's dress it up a little bit more, depending on what this looks like. You call that metallic, son? Okay, well, it'll have to do. I thought I had another metallic marker right there, but like I said, I'm just going to go through and just kind of, outline those a little bit. I mean, if you're wondering why there was so much dead space in the middle of that video, it's because I told the story, and then once I thought about it, I was like, that is in no way appropriate. And anyway, and nobody wants to hear that. Actually, I called Michelle and I was like, hey, you remember that story about what happened in that poetry jam thing? And she's like, remind me? And I told her, she was like, oh my god, do not put that in a video. That is horrific. And I was like, okay. So, you know, if you want to complain about not having a story, here's why. But it was a bit much. Alright, this is not showing up at all, so you can go back with glitter, anything you want to do. It's your leopard print pumpkin. Alright, and this is the stem. I just spray painted it with, what is that, Rust-Oleum Bright Coat Metallic Gold. I think that's the one I usually have. If not, you know, whatever. This is still a little wet in the middle, but it's going to be okay. I'm just really going to put a lot of glue in here because there's a lot of foam missing. I'm going to get it in here. I'm just going to push it down because these fit on top of the, let me even see what I'm doing. These fit on top of the pumpkins because there's so much accumulated fabric at the top, but you got to kind of push them in if you're doing anything else with these pumpkins. Okay, and there we go. From this to this. I guess I could have turned this upside down. No, it doesn't really sit flat. Yeah, I think that's kind of cute. I would like it better if there was some glitter on it, maybe. Maybe I'll add that later. Like just a little bit, like a glitter glue, or glitter gel or something. Just to give her a little more sparkle. But yeah, so if you wanted a leopard print pumpkin, there you go. You could also probably just as easily paint this, but whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope, you know, give you inspiration to do something, even if it's not leopard print. Florals, any kind of paper napkin, tissue paper, anything thin like that, even though this is like parchment paper thick. But yeah, alright, I will leave you with some pictures, and I will see you guys next time. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, see you later.